let's talk about how to draw a nose. It's okay for you to think, I'm going to draw the nose. But immediately you're thinking about how big is the shape that you're going to put on the paper. Right? Let's say we're going to play with the shape. How about we're going to draw the nose over here? Nothing looks like a nose now. But that's all we try to put it down on the paper is how big is the shape. So after you have decided on the size of the shape, right now we just draw the nose alone. But when you have the whole face drawn together, you need to compare the size of the nose compared to the rest of the face. And that's proportion we're going to learn next week. Okay. Now we see this, the location. And then on this I have a little bit darker shape over here. And we can divide this into light side and the shadow side, like that. You can see the line dividing the nose all the way coming like this motion. And inside over here, you can see a little line, just staring at the line, how to find the line. Let's see, from here to here, I can divide in 1, 2, 3, not exactly. In the middle part, it's a little bit less. It's only this much, like that, look like a little triangle. See that? You just keep looking at the shape, it's very easy. And then coming to the side of the nose, like that. So you can see this one part, second part, and the third part. And the middle part is a little bit less. And not everyone the same, okay? In fact, everyone's different. Except if you're brothers, it may be similar. But from person to person on the street, you can see that sitting in a classroom, they all look very different, the nose. So you just have to look at it as the shapes instead of the concept of the nose. How I'm going to make it look like a nose. This is not a model called a nose that everything can go by. Everyone can go by to make it look like a nose. In fact, it's that you are drawing a particular nose. And that nose, you need to draw it from observation. Analyze it, right? This is good. The same thing, I'm going to make, first thing, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to make the whole paper over here to be a little gray because I'm going to create the highlight. Do a little bit different over here, like this. Now, the whole thing is look at gray paper, right? Okay, now the next I'm going to do, I'm going to make the shadow side to be darker. Divide the left side and the right side. So, this side is shadow side. And this side is the light side. So I'm also going to add a little bit shape over here too. You can see the shape over here and showing the structure of the cheek on this side. Now I'm going to do a little blending. Now you can see the nose now appear a little bit three-dimensional because I see the light side and the shadow side. Right, let's continue. And also inside the shadow side over here, I can see this area particularly a little bit darker. You see this area darker because in the lower. Okay, and I'm going to have this a little bit darker, but not as dark as this area. So I'm going to softly just blend it a little bit. I'm going to have this a little bit darker too. And now I'm going to see this under the nostril area And this is not the shape, it's the catch to shadow. I'm just going to draw the shape in here. I always say if you want to draw something successfully, the best way in the process of the drawing is don't think about that is it. Think about is the visual element. Shapes. How big is the shape? What's the angle of the line? The simple thing that you can actually observe and measure. Okay, like this. Now coming on this side, I can see a little darker shape inside the shadow side. Okay, right over here. And there's a little bit darker, shows the smaller shape inside the bigger, darker shape. Like that. And I can see a little reflected light over here. Just use my finger to, because the light bounced up into that. Okay. And the drawings are almost there. Right, this is the shadow side, part of the shadow side over here. Now, I'm going to use my eraser. Here you go, where's the highlight? The highlight area is right in here. There's the lightest. I think I'm going to make this a little bit more smoother, consistent, so that when I do the highlight, it will show a little bit better. That's the highlight. Also, a little bit highlight over here too. So if you think it's also not light enough, and if your paper is a little gray, the white charcoal, okay, you can make it lighter. But if your paper is bright white, putting the white on the white, it doesn't really make any difference. The first thing you should know the location, right? You put the location also, if you're working with the whole face at the elements together, you need to compare the size of this nose with an eye, the distance between the eye and the overall shape. You get that correctly, and then you're coming in here to divide it into the light side and the shadow side. And make the shadow side darker than the light side. And compare the size. Compare to the size over here, the size over here, the size over there, and divide it into smaller shape. And then from the bigger shape, and go into smaller and smaller and smaller shape. And continue doing the adjustments between those different shapes. And the nose is finished.